Welcome to class, everyone. I'm your professor, and today we're going to dive into a truly fascinating explainer. We're going to be tracing the epic hero's journey of a single iron molecule as it travels through your body. So grab your notes and get comfortable, because the hidden life of your blood, well, it's honestly one of the most incredible, highly choreographed stories in all of human biology. Here is our syllabus for the day. We've got 1. Meet the red blood cell. 2. Birth in the bone marrow. 3. The hemoglobin engine. 4. The spleen, which is the red blood cell graveyard. And 5. Iron recycling and waste. All right, let's jump right into section 1. Meet the red blood cell. Red blood cells are honestly just incredible biological structures. They are these biconcave, anucleated, flexible discs. Now, anucleated is really just a fancy biology term meaning they don't even have a nucleus. And they do this on purpose. Shedding that nucleus makes maximum room for our hero, iron, to pack right in. Plus, their super flexible shape allows them to bend perfectly as they squeeze through your body's tiniest capillaries. They actually start out as these immature baby cells called reticulocytes, and then they fully mature into functional discs in just 1 to 2 days. Okay, pop quiz, time for the class to see who actually did the reading. Do you know the normal red blood cell count? And maybe more importantly, do you know if it differs based on gender? Take a quick second to lock in your answer. Let's see how you did. The numbers absolutely do differ. Men typically have about 5 to 6 million red blood cells per microliter of blood, while women normally have 4 to 5 million. Just think about that massive scale for a second. We are talking about millions of these little cells packed into a tiny, tiny drop of blood, working tirelessly just to keep. Moving on to section 2, birth in the bone marrow, a process known as erythropoiesis. It all begins with a really vital trigger: low oxygen. When your kidneys sense that your oxygen levels are dropping, they spring right into action. They release a special hormone called erythropoietin, or EPO for short. You can kind of think of EPO as a molecular text message. It travels through the bloodstream straight to the bone marrow, signaling it to crank up the production of brand new red blood cells. It's just a beautifully designed real-time feedback loop. Section 3. The hemoglobin engine. Now that our cell is born, let's look under the hood at its internal oxygen taxi. I'm talking about the vital protein pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is actually split into 2 distinct parts. On one side, we have globin, which basically serves as the structural protein base. But the true star of our explainer today, our real hero, is heme. Heme is the vital iron-containing portion of the pigment. This is exactly where oxygen and carbon dioxide physically bind to the cell, literally turning it into the transport taxi that sustains your everyday energy. Now, maintaining a healthy baseline here is absolutely crucial for your daily life. A normal, healthy hemoglobin level to sustain this critical oxygen transport is about 15 grams per deciliter. If this number drops, your body's entire oxygen delivery system slows down. And that is exactly why low iron leaves you feeling so sluggish, fatigued, and completely out of breath. All right, class, here is your second pop quiz of the day. So we know how they're born and we know how their engine works, but how many days does our iron-carrying vehicle actually survive before breaking down? Think about all the wear and tear of constantly pumping through your system. Any guesses? The answer is exactly 120 days. Our resilient little cells endure 120 days of nonstop, high-speed touring through your entire circulatory system, getting squeezed, getting battered over and over before they're finally retired. Which brings us to section 4, the spleen, or the RBC graveyard. After 120 days of really hard work, the tired cell reaches the end of the line. The spleen serves as the ultimate cellular graveyard. Inside, you have this aggressive macrophage demolition crew that hunts down and consumes the old, worn-out red blood cells. And they dismantle the cells so systematically. The globin protein is broken down into its basic amino acid building blocks. Then, the heme is broken apart into biliverdin and, most importantly, freeing our hero, the iron molecule. Finally, section 5, iron recycling and waste management. Biology is incredibly efficient, right? Nothing goes to waste if it doesn't have to, so the body sets up this masterful recycling and disposal program. And honestly, this is my absolute favorite part. The body brilliantly salvages the iron that was just freed from the broken down heme. Instead of discarding it, your body stores the iron and completely recycles it, sending it right back to the bone marrow to be used for the very next generation of red blood cells. It's a flawless, closed-loop system ensuring you do not lose that precious metal. But meanwhile, the remaining biliverdin has its own journey to go on. It becomes bilirubin and travels directly to the liver, where it enters the bile. From there, it flows down into the small intestine. Down in the gut, local bacteria metabolize it, converting it into urobilinogen. And finally, this becomes the actual waste pigments that leave your body: stercobilin, which is literally what colors your feces brown, and urobilin, which colors your urine yellow. It's a precise, multi-organ assembly line built just for waste disposal. Well, class dismissed. But before you pack up, I want to leave you with this final, kind of provocative thought to ponder. If our bodies are this perfectly balanced at recycling iron and maintaining normal counts, what happens to your daily health and energy if the spleen's macrophage demolition crew starts destroying cells faster than the bone marrow can forge them? Think about that delicate balance. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring the amazing biology inside you.